This is Connie Chappelle, certified legal nurse consultant. And Connie, I've asked you to visit with me today on sepsis cases. I know that this can be a huge issue in litigation. And I know that you've been involved both from a plaintiff and a defense perspective. Is that right?
That is correct.
Okay, great. So first of all, how do these cases even come to fruition? What's the problem? Why do sepsis cases end up getting mismanaged?
Well, I think it's because I've reviewed so many sepsis records that I can tell you facilities are not getting this right 100% of the time.
Okay, but why? Why are they not getting it right?
They could miss an element. They could miss finding out that the patient has severe sepsis or septic shock. If the patient has severe sepsis or septic shock, they fail to order the appropriate antibiotics.
Okay.
They fail to order 30 cc's per kilogram of crystalloid fluid administration, those kind of things.
Okay, so I'm hearing kind of two themes. One is a misdiagnosis theme, and another theme is a mismanagement theme. In other words, they're not treating it properly.
That is correct.
And sepsis is challenging to treat even if you know what you're doing.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Because sepsis can progress rapidly from sepsis, severe sepsis to septic shock and then organ failure.
Right. And again, these are serious cases for that very reason, as you're suggesting.
Absolutely. Once they get to organ failure, it's hard to pull them back.
Okay. So from a defense perspective, are there ways that you can help the defense if you're on the defense side? What are you looking for to help them defend the case?
Well, it depends on what the plaintiff has claimed. Okay. In one case that I looked at, the plaintiff claimed that nursing should have gotten the wound culture on the second ED visit, even though the provider didn't order it. So the defense attorney was consulting with me to find an expert witness, that says, well, you're not going to give or get a specimen, when the provider doesn't order it. You're wasting your time there.
Okay.
So
all right.
that's from a defense perspective. How do we defend this?
And then also, these patients that become septic, I mean, my memory of them when I worked in the hospital is they're often very complicated patients to begin with. So can the defense use that to kind of complicate the case and muddy up the waters and try and show that this was an inevitable process that was going to happen?
They can. However, one of the things that I look at when I look at for defense cases is, did they do what they were supposed to do when the patient arrived at the hospital? Okay. And so basically, if they didn't do that, then they really can't use that claim of, well, the patient was just so sick when they got here. Great, but you needed to do what you were supposed to do. Yes.
But they'll definitely try to use that.
They will try.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Any other tips that you want to share with your CLNC colleagues about sepsis cases?
Don't be afraid when the doc or the attorney contacts you, either plaintiff or defense, and says, hey, I've got a sepsis case for you. Because these cases are no different from what you do in your other cases. Okay, you're going to review the records, you're going to identify the standards of care. Were they met? Were they not met? Did the patient get what they were supposed to get in the time that they were supposed to get it in? Remember, with your sepsis cases, it's all about time. Timing. You got it. Everything, yes.
Thank you so much, Connie.
Not a problem. Thank you. I appreciate it.